Hello lovely crafty friends, welcome to Love Builds Up Crafts. I am Sasha and today we're going to be playing around with some alcohol inks as well as having fun with our stitching patterns. So let's get started. So you'll need some type of alcohol ink paper. I normally use Yupo paper, but today I'm using photo paper, which is a cheaper alternative to Yupo paper because I've run out of Yupo paper. And also I am recycling this background because I have this situation here that I'm not quite sure what to do with, so I thought let me use up the front of it so that at least the paper is not going to waste, because you know every penny counts. Okay, so now I'm just grabbing my alcohol inks. I will link everything in the description below, but I'm using some gold alloy and then some rubbing alcohol. I use 70% rubbing alcohol. You can use whatever you want. Some people use acetone. There's a lot of things that work. You just have to try it out. And then now I'm grabbing the other colors, so I'm going to be going for like a patina, because I want it to be like a bluey green, not like a green. So I've grabbed some patina and then some pistachio alcohol ink, and then I'm just going to grab a cloudy blue so that we can bring in those hints of blue as well. So we're just gonna go for like a stress-free alcohol ink session, okay, with just minimal tools. And I'm starting it by just spraying my whole panel with the alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and get it nice and wet before I start adding my colors. I'm starting off with the patina because I want it to be like the base color, and then I'm adding in a bit of the pistachio green, and then finally the cloudy blue. Now I wasn't sure about the cloudy blue, so I added a bit on one side just to see how it would work, and then I added more on the other side so that I would see if I really liked it with the cloudy blue. So once that's done, I'm just going to be swirling my panel around whilst moving those inks with the rubbing alcohol. This is just a fun and easy way to do it. I'm doing it this way also because I did lose my my alcohol pumping thing, you know, the hand pump thing. I lost it in my son's mouth. Yeah, he got it and chewed it out, so I have to get a replacement. So this is why I'm just using this simple way. So I just add some alcohol, add the rubbing solution, and then just swirl it around till I like it. I really love the way the gold looks. The gold just makes everything sing. I love it. So I'm going to be adding loads more gold. So here I'm just fanning my panel because I want some of the areas dry before I go and add in more color, because I don't want it to merge with the bottom layer. I want it to sit on top of the bottom layer. So there you go. You see me adding more gold and even more gold. I just love the gold. Okay, so once I got it to how I like it, I'm gonna go ahead and fan it so that it dries up. You can leave it to air dry, but I wanted to film the video, so I had to speed it up a bit. So this is what our panel looks like once it's done. You can see all that beautiful gold popping. Oh, I love the gold so much. So I'll be using the stitched ornament edge die from the STITCHMAS Christmas collection. I am just so obsessed with stitching. Honestly, I love it so much, and the spellbinders dies are just so perfect for it. So I'm just going to show you that you can have 3 die cuts, 3 ornament die cuts from your 1A5 alcohol ink panel, and there's still some left over for like your little leaves and stuff to decorate your card, but I'm going to use it as a background. So I'm going to go ahead and just die cut my ornament from the corner there, and I've also die cut another spare ornament so that I can have it as the backing, because the photo paper is quite flimsy, so I was worried that when I start stitching it might start ripping. So I'm just going to back it up with some 300 GSM card. So I'm just going to add some glue to the open areas, making sure to avoid the holes because I don't want to glue my holes shut. And then I'm going to go ahead and do some of the stitching off camera, because if I show the whole process we will be here all day. So I'll be back with some YouTube magic. I am back. So what I realized is the alcohol ink is like rubbing off on my hands, like so much of it rubbed off of my hand. Like the gold isn't even popping that much, but we're not going to start again. We're just going to go ahead and we'll figure out a way to like zhuzh it up later. So I'm going to show you how to make like this red star design or flower design. I don't know if it's a star or flower, but I'm just going to show you how to like step it up a bit and do something a bit fun. Okay, so I've come through to the top using the middle hole and then back down again through any of the top holes. Then I'm coming back up through the adjacent hole right into the middle so that I'm back again, and then I'm going to come up using the hole on the left hand side right into the middle, but create this little loop here, then back up the right into the loop, right into the loop, then back down the right again, and then come up through the left right into the middle, and then flip my panel over and tuck the needle under that line there into the middle, and then bring it up and tuck it under the line again into the middle. And then I'm just going to give it a little tug or like a little pull, and that will give us that design there. So I've tried to explain it as best as I can, and I'm really sorry if it's not as concise as I thought it was. But just play the video. You can always slow it down if you're really not understanding, and just watch what I'm doing as I'm doing it. I'm so sorry, I'm not very good at explaining embroidery terms, but like the saying goes, I can show you better than I can tell you. So just watch the video and see what is happening. So I'm going to go ahead and just finish up the rest of my star, and then I'll add some red line tape to hold that down and trim off the excess. For this part here, I really wish I had like some gold metallic thread, because I think it would have really made this part just stand out so beautifully. But I chose the color that I have that is closest to the gold. I might have to do this cut again once I have my gold metallic thread, but for now we're just going to go ahead and create like a little half starburst sort of design. We're just going through the middle hole, then to the smaller holes, and just repeating that till you have gone through about 4 or 5 holes, and that's it. Then you go down to do the other part or to the next big hole, and then through the small holes into the big hole again. So you're creating like this little star bursty design. So once I'm done with that, oh, and something that's important that I forgot to mention earlier, so far I am using 3 strands of floss. So the floss comes in 6 strands and I separate it into 3. So for the red I use 3, and for the gold I use 3. So now I'm doing this bit here, which is like this little Christmas tree design thing. Well, I thought that's what it looked like. And I'm using 4 strands here. So I'm just going up and down through the holes in a straight line till I get to the end. And once I get to the right hand side, I'm just going to be going back and forth through the right hand hole, back to the left, right, back to the left. And I'm going to do this about 4 times or 3 times. It depends on how much dimension or thickness you want, so you decide this part. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the same for all the other holes. I'm just going to be going back and forth through the right hand side to the left, right to the left, until I get to the top. I'm just going to leave the top hole without anything, because it's covered anyway. You'll see there's like the little ornament piece. It's such a cute little piece that goes on top there, and that's going to cover that hole there. Or you can always just add a gem. Okay, so now we're left with these little bits here that we need to cover up, and I'm just going to do a super simple stitch. So I'm going middle into the left, then through the right, then through the middle again, and I'll just repeat this step on each of the holes about twice, just to add some dimension before moving on to the next set of holes. So I am using three strands, sorry, of floss there, and I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. So I'm going up through the side holes and then coming back into the middle, and this creates just like a sort of like a fan pattern, and I think that's the way that you're supposed to do that anyways. It's not anything special. Just follow the outline of the holes, and I think that's what it's meant to be. So I will just go ahead and finish up the rest of those gaps, and once I am done, the stitching is all done, so we can go ahead and focus on finishing the rest of the card. I've gone ahead and die cut all the decorating elements for the ornament and the sentiment out of some gold mirror cardstock, and now I'm just taking the panel and trimming it down so that it is 5x7. Make sure you're keeping all those scraps because they're going to come in handy later. For this part, I just wanted to show you a few layout ideas that you could play with. So you can have your ornament at the top there, and then have your Merry Christmas sentiment at the bottom, and then you can add all your leaves and your decorating. Or you can flip that over and have your sentiment at the bottom and your ornament at the bottom. That's a layout you can do as well. Or you can have your sentiment halfway through. I chose to have my sentiment right at the top and my ornament at the bottom, so that I could have just a bit of space in between. And I'm going to go ahead and stick my panel down with some red line tape and some liquid adhesive, because I want it permanently stuck down to that 5x7 card base. To add a little extra zhuzh to the ornament, I die cut a plain ornament without the stitching plate, and then I'm just trimming that off in half, and I'm going to add some foam tape to my stitched ornament and then stick it all together, and that will give like a little offset to our ornament, which will add that little extra something something. So now I'm taking my foliage that I've die cut from the alcohol ink scraps and some gold cardstock, and then I'm just going to stick that down before adding my ornament and then positioning my sentiment. I haven't stuck it down yet because I wanted to add some glitter, but I don't have glitter thread, so I opted for some clear thread, and I just rolled it up into like a little bow, which I'm now going to tie to my ornament just like that. And then after that, I will go ahead and stick down my sentiment and add some bling bling, of course, and that is our card all done. So full disclosure, right, the hardest part of this whole process was deciding which sequins and gems to put over the top of the ornament. That really took a long time. So comment below what your finishing touch struggle is, because I know we all have them. But besides that, I really love how the card came out. I'm definitely going to try it with some metallic thread, so look out on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, this is a good time to follow me on Instagram. This is also a good time to please subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss the next stitching experiment. And please say hi in the comments. I love when you talk to me. I really do appreciate everyone who comments, and I hope you have a lovely day.